So what we're going to do is we're going to just create a bubble of safety here. We're going to use the sound bowl. We're going to create safety, hold the space. Even though this is live, you and I, it's like we're just in the same room, right? So we're just going to hold this space together. And then we're going to do the creative sacred process. So I'll walk you through that, and then we'll bring your book in.
Okay.
Okay, so let me bring my bowl up. I want you to take a nice deep breath in. And we're just going to pour this light through your space, through my space, cleaning, cleansing, clearing the way, creating a beautiful shield of light around you, around me, holding this session in safety and in deep, divine, beautiful light. Take one more breath in, allowing the sound to just align all of your energy centers within you, opening up the heart so that we can receive your book. Oh, there we go. Okay, so I don't have my oil. Let me grab my oil real quick. So this is a big part for me. I'm sure you've seen, but anyways, I use the same oil every time. It helps my brain tether in to receiving. So I want you to just take a deep breath in with me. Then we're going to breathe out. And we're going to imagine this beautiful white light at the crown of our heads. And as we breathe, the light's going to come through and it's going to clear out any noise. So specifically any noise in the mind of doing it right, of not being able to receive, like all the noise that the mind projects, we're going to clear it out. So breathe in the light. We're going to clear out all the noise, moving it through your body. And then it's going to move all the way out through the soles of your feet into the earth. You're going to breathe in the light again. And all the way down. There we go. So from here, we're going to place a beautiful shield of light around you. And this is going to be a protector, and it's going to infuse and insulate you. So I want you to just feel this beautiful, like almost like wings around you, holding you and protecting you. And then in that space, we're going to call in our team. So we're going to call in all of the angels, all the guides. Those are here to support your work. This message is in your heart. We're going to call them all the way in and invite them in through the divine light to come and help us receive your book. And then we're going to prep your body and my body to receive. So we're going to ask that light will touch our ears, that we will spiritually hear what needs to be heard, that light will touch our third eye, so we'll have access to all of our spiritual gifts. The light will cleanse our lips, that we speak only what needs to be spoken. So breathing in, breathing out. How does that feel in your body?
Good.
Yeah.
Calm.
Beautiful. So now we're going to call your book in. And I really wanted presence. Like I watched you dance, but I was like, I don't want to know your message because I really want your book to come in super clean. So I have no idea what your message is. And I want you to even take your message and put it over like to the side. And let's see what the book wants to tell us. Okay?
Okay.
So we're going to call your book in. Oh, of course it is. Oh my gosh, I love it. Your book is literally pirouetting like all the way through, right? Like they always have an entrance, and I love that yours, it's like the energy is so circular. The energy is like a spiral energy, and what I'm seeing is it has no breaks. So the book is like a whole, like a full circle, that there are no breaks within it. It's just it's showing me that it's like super continuous. Okay, so I don't know if any of that lands for you. Does any of that land in your body for what you do?
Yes. Yeah, it does. It does. I feel like that kind of almost the energy that you had around the sound bowl of just like that continuous frequency and that interconnectedness and that love, I feel like, is a big theme of just like that perfect frequency of love is something that I feel needs to weave in some way, but I'm not really sure how.
Okay, so let's ask it. Let's talk to it. So it's just showing me how it's coming in. And it's interesting. It's almost like a positive tornado, right? So like a tornado is destructive and it rips everything up. but it's like a positive tornado where like wherever it moves, it's pulling people into this energy. It's like a whew, it's kind of like this kind of an energy, right? And it just wraps people in, wraps people in, wraps people in. So it's showing me like it is like anybody who's in the energy of the book, they're automatically wrapped into this magic, which is like really exciting, right?
Okay.
I like that a lot. So now let's invite the book to sit between my heart and your heart. And we're just going to ask the book to speak to us, to show us anything. Okay, so it's showing me immediately skipping stones. Have you ever seen someone skip stones in the water, right? And so it's showing me that like part of this work is that one stone goes out, but then it just ripples and it ripples and it ripples and it ripples. So it's like it's showing me, the book is showing me it's more than a book. It's like a movement, right? So like the book, that's why, okay, that makes sense. That's why the book's like saying like it's picking people up, it's picking people up, it's picking people up, because it's like bringing them in to something more than just a book. How does that feel?
It's so funny you say that, because my Align mission, right, with Align, with the wellness that I do and the movement that I do, is that it's not just movement, it is a movement. Using what we're doing not only to heal our own bodies, but to pay that forward and heal others. So in healing ourselves, we heal someone else. So everything you're saying makes sense, because it's like pulling everyone into that healing vortex, and then also using all the goodness that's happening in our own space to then let it expand and reach out to impact others. So yes, like I do want everything, my mission is for it to be a movement of healing and growth and service to others, which I didn't originally feel would connect to the book, but it makes sense for the mission that I've had for the past few years, and everything that Align is about completely makes sense with that.
Yeah, that's so cool. I love that. I love it. It's so fun. These are just so fun. I mean,
yeah, this is so
fun. Yeah, so fun.
So fun.
So what we're gonna ask though is like, because there's something in the way. So let's see if we can drop in. I'm gonna invite all of your gifts, because you're super intuitive. You're really gifted. So all of your gifts of seeing, hearing, feeling, knowing, we're just gonna bring them all the way up to the surface and into the divine light to come and be present, so that you can hear your book with me. But it's like interesting. It's like showing me, like, I don't know. It's showing, these are the words I hear. It never makes sense to me until I speak it out loud. It's like you can see Shangri-La, which I don't even really know what Shangri-La is, but what I'm seeing is like this beautiful, like, it's almost like this white temple building, and it's like all of this beauty. It's like you can see it, but there's like gates in front of it. And so what we have to, it's like the book's here, the movement's here, you can feel it, you can see it. You were like literally right outside the gates, but there's like a gate in the way. Can you feel that?
I feel that little bit of block of expanding, fully expanding. I do feel that in my system, and I've been like working with that a lot. This like, what is it? Is it, I don't know really what it is. That's like that little bit of like I feel like I can't break through that one last piece of the puzzle here.
Yeah, it's so weird, because it's a really thin gate, right? It's not even like, and then you have to walk a million miles. It's like, no, like the gate's open, you're like in Shangri-La, right? So there's just a piece here. So if you are willing, and you don't have to say yes, because this is totally live, but if you want, we can go in and we can see if we can clear that so that the book can come through.
Sure. Yeah. I mean, I've been trying to do all the things to remove all the blocks standing between me and what is truly aligned in my path and purpose, and the way that I am called to serve and show up. And so I've been actively doing that. But like you were saying, I was listening to a live you had before. You just need help sometimes. You need some facilitation in that process. You can't really do that on your own. It's sometimes you really need a guide, or you need someone else's energy to kind of help facilitate the clear. So sure.
Yeah. I mean, So like I do my own daily healing work, right? Like every day I'm in my chakras and blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
But like I have a shaman who works a full hour every week with me because like I can't see what I can't see, right? So it's like there's just so much beauty and support, and it doesn't feel like this is it, and it's like this may be the thing and it may just be another crack in the gate, right?
Right.
But let's just go in because it feels so close. The book feels so close. The expansive community and movement feels so close, right?
Yeah.
So let's just drop into the body and let's see if we can scan through and just see where that gate lives. Thank you for being here with us in this beautiful sacred book channeling session. And if you felt the stir in your heart that it is time for you to write your book, then I am so excited to tell you that I am going to give you my sacred creative process that allows authors to channel their books. Just click the link below in the description and you will have immediate access to learning the tools on how you will channel your book. So it feels interesting. I can feel something in the heart, but then it like drops down and it pulls me to the sacral. So it's like creation and heart kind of space, right?
Mm-hmm.
So, and you share whatever you see in here, right? Let's just dance together. So here in your heart, let's soften this first. So I always use the feeling of the sun. So I want you to close your eyes and feel the warmth of the sun. Imagine the last time you were like in the beating sun and it was like pouring down on you. I want you to feel that on your heart, and I want you to see it's going to crack open. It's going to crack open, but what's really cool is like as soon as it cracks, there's this beautiful veil of light that goes underneath the crack so that your heart still stays protected, but we're cracking the walls that are guarding your receiving highway. So the heart is the receiving highway. It's where we receive and it's where we give. And we're just going to crack that wall, but we're still placing a veil right over the heart so the heart stays safe. It feels protected. But now I want you to breathe in. I want you to feel your rib cage move. So do it again. And then I want you to see this golden nectar that's going to pour right through the cracks. And what's going to happen is that wall is going to disintegrate into like little golden flakes. And as you breathe, it just kind of moves out, and it's going to be like pollen. It's just going to go and nurture and pollinate creation. So it's only bringing light to the world, but we're letting it leave. So I want you to just breathe in. Feeling your rib cage move. One more. Okay, so now I want you to imagine that there's this beautiful, what do we want to use? What do we want to use? I'm just seeing water. So we're just going to use this beautiful image of like golden light water coming through the heart, and it's just going to clean off anything that's been holding you back from fully giving your love, from fully embodying the magic that you have. So we're just going to let this light come in and clean everything else off. And then it's going to go deep in your heart and it's going to wake up this magic. Because I can feel it, like you have this really powerful magic inside of you that literally all it takes is you to breathe and people feel it. So we're just going to wake that up and let it expand out your heart. So just breathe that light in. And as you breathe out, I want you to feel your love leaving your heart space. And it's just going out and it's just finding all the places that it needs to go. So you're going to breathe that magic back in. And we're going to let it go out, and it's going to go and reach all the people who need this magic. Now, before we go to your sacral, how are you feeling right there?
Open.
Yeah. Yeah.
Expanded, like a little bit more free, a little less dense and heavy in that area.
Yeah. Yeah. And it's like almost like a giggle is ready to come up. Like it's like, oh, here we go.
Yeah. The joy. It's the joy, pulling the joy back.
Yes. Yes. Okay, so let's go down into the sacral because there's something about creation. Let me just see if we can hear it. So tell me a little bit about, do you find that you lean towards perfection sometimes?
Yes, I definitely feel like I have that in me, but I also
Mhm.
feel like I lean sometimes towards worry.
Okay, tell me
Like,
about worry. Tell me
not
about.
necessarily that it needs to be perfect, but
Mhm.
that worry that I am not able to sustain things solo. Like
Mhm.
that little bit of fear that creeps in that if I go to expand into these spaces, that I won't be able to sustain it alone, or that that type of little bit of insecurity comes in. So it's not so much that I feel like I can't do it if it's not perfect. It's more of this worry that I don't have the resources, or I don't have the tools, or I don't have enough
Yeah, yeah.
to fully step in, maybe, or that I'm not enough to fully step in. Like that fear creeps in, I think, for a lot of us, but I
Oh yeah,
definitely sense that in my
yeah,
system.
yeah, 100%. This is like the biggest conversation, right? So
Yeah.
you're not alone in this. I will tell you what I'm hearing. Okay, so tell me about your dancing. Was it like, did you do mostly ballet? It feels like you have a really hardcore ballet base, yes?
So that's pretty much all it was. I
Yeah,
mean, besides the contemporary rep that we would sometimes do within the company, I
yeah,
didn't train in modern, I didn't train in jazz or tap or anything. It was like all ballet from the time I was 6 or 7.
yeah, yeah.
That was
Okay,
it.
so here's the message, okay? The message is this. What I'm hearing is every time you leap, so you do a grand jeté, every time there's like a moment that you're suspended, but you always come back. You always land,
Yeah.
right? And every time you pirouette, like like yeah, sometimes we fall out, but like your feet are there, right? But you do know that you have what it takes to sustain that pirouette. Now, if you were to go into partner and your partner is spinning you, it's like a support, but you also know you can do it,
Yeah.
right? Like your partner couldn't spin you if you didn't have a center,
Right.
right? So like you have everything it takes, but you can also bring in a partner. But it always starts here, right?
Yes. Yeah.
So that's the message. The message is you actually have everything it takes and you can bring in partners, but the only reason why the partners and the collaborations are going to work is because you already have your center,
Right.
right?
Okay.
So let's go in and let's just like wake up the creations, because what I'm seeing, it's like the creations want to come out and they just want to be exactly what they are. It's like they're just like, here's the bloom, right? And you're like, but like maybe we like painted a different color. It's like no, like it's like
Yeah.
I am this, right? So let's just
Yeah.
bring that up. So I want you to breathe deep into the lower belly, right into the sacral. You're gonna breathe out, and then we're gonna breathe in. We're going to breathe out and we're going to take this ball of momentum. There's like this ball of golden momentum and we're just going to pour it through the sacral chakra and it's going to wake up all the creation. So like it's almost like it's the same tornado. It's so interesting. It's like the tornado of love is coming in, letting all your creations know that they are worthy, they are magical, that they're beautiful just as they are, and that you're going to birth them through. And it's you're going to birth them through your heart. So they're going to come up and they're going to birth through the heart, the space of service. So letting them all know, oh, they're all getting in line, like literally. Oh my gosh, it's like they're going across the floor. Right? They're all getting in line to take their turn across the floor. So all the creations are like prepped and ready, and we're just letting them know, like, yep, you can come up all the way and you're going to go out through the heart. So we're going to just breathe in and we're going to just wrap that sacral chakra in so much love, every creation in the deepest love, letting them know how important they are, that they get to come through exactly as they want to come through, and that you're going to birth them with love. Just breathe it in. And then I want you to feel them come out your heart. And you're going to breathe it in. And what I want you to be present to is every time you breathe out through your heart, there are people's lives that are changing. Like even just here, right here in this space. Can you feel that?
It feels so good because that is just my heart center, is wanting to help and serve and facilitate healing and growth in others from the purest place in my heart. Like that is what I want to do, and that's what I know I'm called to do.
Yeah.
It's just stepping into that fully, that. But yeah, I mean, it feels amazing to my body to know that I'm having a positive impact on others. Yeah.
Okay, there's one more. I love all the dance analogies. This is so fun. I never get to work like this. It's so much fun.
Yeah.
So what I'm hearing is there's a shift. There's a shift on, like, imagine that when you're on stage and there's a moment where you get that people are watching you and you stop being in your body, right? Like it's like, and then you kind of like are performing to them instead of the moment where you're like, even in a tendu, like the crease of your toes on the ground, and then you moving your body and like being here. And it's like there could be a million people or no people, it doesn't even matter. It's like it's just you feeling, right?
Right.
So what I'm seeing is that the more you just let yourself be liberated, like everything you do is like that, right? Like the dark ballet room and you're in there just doing plies and tendus, and like the smell of the floor, like that energy, that's the energy you bring to your book, to your movement, to your creations. And what's going to happen is that that energy is going to be what is the tornado of love.
Okay.
Does that make sense?
Yeah, because I feel like sometimes being a performer for so long, right? Performer is also kind of people pleasing because you're always like having that person in front of you judging your art and like, is it good enough? Is my tendu pointed enough? Am I turned out enough? Like, is my back, and even when I give myself class, which is such a meditation for me now, I have moments where I slip into the mirror and I'm like, oh, that could be a little bit more turned out, or I could, it's that perfectionism, that piece of the perfectionism of the people pleasing side of it that I really think I need to step out of fully in order to step into authenticity, right? Of just like, whether or not this feels comfortable for anybody else, I know that this is what I need to be doing for my life. And it's stepping into that space and clearing the blocks of really moving into that and knowing that, this will touch some and may not touch everyone and may not please everyone and may be a shift and things like that, and to just keep going towards my intuition and towards what feels really authentic for me.
That feels so true.
Yeah.
And it feels so like clear now in your body. Can you feel that? It's like shoo, all the way down. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Now it's just actually doing it, right?
I love this. Oh my gosh, Alyson, this is so much fun. Okay, so we're going to bring your book right here again. And we're just going to, as we close, we're just going to ask your book, is there any other messages? It's just saying like, yes, yes, yes to everything that we've said. So is there any other messages that your book wants to share? So what I'm hearing is that the book, if you can channel it through, right? Get out of your mind and just allow the words to come through you. It will also be a meditative practice. Like you spending time with the book is going to give you energy. It's going to give you peace. If at any point you feel like you're stuck, like, oh, I don't want to write this anymore. Oh, I don't like this anymore. That's when you go, oh, I was in my mind. And I was trying to make it be something. Then you drop back in and you let the book show you what it is.
Okay.
Okay?
Yeah.
Okay. And if you can create just 10 minutes a day right now, 10 minutes a day with the book, just speaking to it, praying in your angels, asking the book to show you things, if just a little bit of time is going to actually compound to the book getting done really quickly.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah. And it's so nourishing for me to write from that space of just like whatever flows through and flows into the paper feels so nourishing and a like healthy empty, of just like thoughts and feelings and emotions and experiences. And I also believe that there is an element to the book of sharing some really vulnerable things that have happened over the past few years that I know in sharing that story will create that connection and that comfort in someone that may be handling a similar situation, but it's having the courage to use my voice and to let that flow through when I really hesitate in sharing all of that. You know, that's a big, I think that might be part of the block, is just that, you know, knowing how vulnerable it really needs to be in order to really serve at as many people as possible, and just like letting go of that and letting it just come out anyway.
Yeah. Yeah. Especially like, and I mean, I just feel this, right? Like I'm writing a full book about my journey with dealing with suicide ideation, my whole teenage life, my whole 20s. Like that isn't the conversation I want to share. And it is the conversation that heals people.
Right.
Right? So we get to really land 2 feet in service of like, I really don't want to share this, but I know that this could literally change someone's life. This could be the thing, right? Because you had a thing and I had a thing. We had a thing that changed our lives, right?
For sure. Like just completely took it and just blew it all up. And took the path that you think you're going on and just completely redirects in a different direction that feels very scary at times and things like that. And also just going through, when you do go through something, the emotional pain, and I think that is still in my heart, and that's why it feels like tight. It's because that trauma is still in there to be cleared, and I think that's what we're probably sensing. You know, it's like, as much as I'm trying to like open and expand and breathe into it and all those things, it's still processing that, you know, that shock. So I think I know that has to come through, because as I process it and use all these beautiful healing tools to move through it, which that is the one thing I feel so like, I guess, rooted in, is that I have called upon all these healing tools that I have started exploring since I was a teenager, and they're all supporting me through this situation. I think that that I also want to share. It's like, you know, there are these tools, these beautiful, beautiful healing tools that you can tap into, that they don't take anything away, but they help you alchemize and integrate all of it.
Can you feel how the fear gets deleted when we understand the service that it will bring? Right? Like your heart is such a heart of service. When we have a heart of service and we remember what this is going to do, it just deletes the fear. It's like, yeah, obviously I'm going to do this, right? Yeah. So now from this place, I would invite you to call on your angels, like let them come and be with you. I'm a big believer of like having them hold my heart when I'm writing the things that are painful. And then I dance afterwards, or I drum afterwards, right? So there's an entrance into channeling, and then we have to exit channeling. And so how we exit is movement in the body. So if that's chanting or drumming or sound bowls or dancing, but when you wake up this piece in your heart and you channel it through, you then have to move it through your body.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
And that's going to help you stay on top of this book. Because otherwise, then it's almost like you ripped open a wound and then you're like, oh, what, I have to go coach today? Wait, how am I supposed to function, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's when we go, okay, how do I move? And it feels like dance is your way. So it's like,
oh, for sure.
Just dance afterwards, right? Like, right?
That's for sure my like biggest healing tool, I feel like, is being in the studio, or maybe even not in the studio, just like, you know, if I'm at home and I'm just like, okay, I'm just going to dance a little bit. It helps pull me back to center and drop me into my body, and, you know, move through the emotions that I'm having or experiencing at the time. Yeah. So for sure.
I love this. Okay, Alyson. So let's wrap your book. Your book like literally has not stopped moving. It has just been like literally, it's just the energy, the circular energy of the whole time, which is so beautiful and honoring that that's the magic. So as you bring this book through, notice that it's probably going to bring a lot of success to your business and a success to your work because it's got so much momentum energy, right?
Okay.
So when you dance with this book, it will literally partner you in everything.
Awesome.
Okay. That feels really good. So we're just going to pour love over the book. We're not going to wrap this book because it's moving too fast. So we're just gonna like really pour this beautiful love over it, and then we're gonna allow your book to just kind of go and start the energy so that the book can come through. So we're just gonna allow the book to open up space in your calendar so that you can spend time with it every day, and then we're gonna pour just so much love over you and bringing you into this space of freedom and liberation and just acknowledging you for being so open. Just so open today. Thank you for showing up like this.
Yeah, thank you for facilitating such profound insights into everything. I feel like I said, like connection at the soul level.
I know, right? I know. I feel it. I feel it. I'm so happy. I was really excited for this session. So here's the biggest piece is that you want to just stay in motion with it.
Okay.
So you don't want it to get stagnant. You don't want to put it off for days and days and days. It's inviting you to partner. It's inviting you to come into this moment with it. So don't put it off. Jump in, and it will just come through super fast.
That's so helpful because I kind of was like, well, am I really ready? Is there another experience I need to have before I start to write it? So you just answered my question. Yeah. So thank you for that.
It's now. It's like, it's now.
And,
okay. And it will come through really fast because of the momentum energy that's in it.
Yeah.
Okay. And okay, so one last thing. Your brain is it's gonna kick in and it's gonna be like, wait, there needs to be something else. There needs to be something else. There's probably just another book. Like, let's just write this book.
Right.
Right? There's always something else. We're evolving. We're healing every day. We're like changed beings every single morning.
Yeah.
So let this book just come through. And then if there's things that happen, just write another book. Right?
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah, that's a good point. It's like it doesn't have to be the only thing right for the rest of my life.
Right? It's like,
yeah.
No, like right now, this book's here, bring it through. And then when more things happen, you just write another one.
Yeah. Okay.
Right? Okay. All right. Stay in touch. Let me know how things are going.
Okay. Thank you so much for your time today. And it was beautiful to meet you this way. Hopefully someday we can meet in person. If you loved this video, then I invite you to come over with me right here and watch a few more of my book channeling sessions. Join me as I sit with authors and we channel through books that are here to transform humanity. I think you're going to love them.